As the administration cries foul over S&P's rating decision, calling it a political decision, 5 former directors of the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office are saying they don't think Congress will even fulfill the meager spending cuts outlined in the debt deal and now the law of the land. Do we even deserve that AA+ rating the S&P gave us today? Here to discuss are my freedom fighters, AMA Productions Chair and CEO Amelia Antonetti, Democratic strategist Carl Jeffers, and Emeritus Financial Advisor Lenore Hawkins. Amelia, to you first. Do we even deserve the credit rating that Standard & Poor's gave us? I said today, I meant Friday night when they revealed this.
Well, we deserve the downgrade, that's for sure, and I hope the heck we can put the right people in place to actually earn it. It makes me very nervous that we've got triggers in the plan to hurt the other party, to cause pain. What kind of leadership is that?
Carl Jeffers, are you worried that the Congress will not obey the law that it imposed on itself and the future Congresses, and that somehow these so-called triggers or spending cuts will never come to pass because you know, Mr. Jeffers, that all they have to do is decide it's an emergency by a majority vote, and then the triggers don't happen?
Well, I hope we have a 2-hour show tonight, Judge, because of this issue. Listen,
don't be a wise guy.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. First of all, Standard & Poor's has some nerve downgrading the AAA status of the United States when, in fact, 3 years ago and doing all of that credit crunch and those CDOs in Wall Street.
I know that. I know what you're going to say. But
no, not the Tea Party. The Standard & Poor's was issuing those AAA ratings right through the mailbox.
Okay, we know they weren't perfect. But answer for me, please, whether or not you think these cuts will ever happen.
Well, I think that some of the cuts will happen, and I do think that it is quite possible that the Super Committee of Congress will not be able to agree on cuts that will get voted up by both houses of Congress.
Okay.
So as a result, that will trigger some automatic cuts. It's the automatic cuts, Judge, that I think will be the problem, because I think at that point Congress will defer the implementation until after the election. And if the Republicans get control of the Congress, they will implement them.
All right. We don't have the 2 hours that you asked for. Got it. Lenore Hawkins, our Democratic friend and your fellow Californian, says that some of the cuts might take place, that Congress might authorize them. Do you think that this is a charade and that none of these cuts will ever take place?
Well, we have seen little political will so far from either side of the aisle to actually go to their constituents and tell them that in these times of very difficult economic times, that they're going to take away even more benefits from them. And on top of that, we've got a president who just showed once again today that it's all about class warfare, it's all about spending, and he has an inability to work with people who don't always agree with him.
Amelia, will the spending binge ever end, no matter who's president, unless it's Ron Paul or someone whose views are radically different from the president, and no matter which party controls the Congress?
I don't see anybody right now that will actually get in there and really do what needs to be done. And that makes me nervous, because what needs to be done is a true leader, a true CEO type, to say, you know what, it's going to hurt all over the place, and get ready and hold on to your britches, because we're going to start running this country like a business.
All right. The European Central Bank, right. The European Central Bank is reactivating a bond buying program it had put on a 4-month hiatus. This all because it's looking to save Italy and Spain from the brink of fiscal uncertainty. Good luck. Previously, this program was used for the Irish and Portuguese debt, and it couldn't save those nations from the fiscal fate they've met. Will it work for Italy and Spain, helping further to stop damage here in the United States, Ms. Hawkins? And earlier tonight, the president said, you know what? Those European problems are spilling over here as if they come from the ocean. So, question, when will any government ever learn that central banks cannot stop problems caused by too much borrowing and spending with more borrowing and spending?
Amen.
I can't fathom a central bank actually realizing that the foundations upon which most of them operate, their economic theory, is significantly flawed. But here we go again. Of course, the ECB is going to do this. They don't want to lose their jobs. They've got to keep the euro going, or they're out on their keister, so to speak.
Carl, do you think that we're going to be emulating the European Central Bank, that maybe your great state of California will go to the Federal Reserve and say, print us up a couple of $100 billion because we got to pay our bills? Alan Greenspan says we can print ourselves into wealth if we want. Carl Jeffers, what do you say?
Well, first of all, I'm concerned about the great state of California. You mentioned all those constitutional violations in your Freedom File section, and it got me worried out here with California. But you mentioned Alan Greenspan. Even your professor, Stephen Horowitz, acknowledged that, of course, Alan Greenspan is right, and that's all Greenspan was saying. We have the ability to print money. Europe does not. Spain and Italy cannot do more of it because they have no credit to back it up, and that's why your other guests are completely wrong tonight. We don't deserve downgrading of our credit. Why? Because we, in fact, do not default on our loans. And where's the money that came out of the stock market
so
today?
you didn't like your report card either when the teacher gave it to you.
It's going into
Printing
bonds.
money is just a
and
default.
bonds are what
All
was
right,
downgraded.
Carl, we got it. Go ahead, Lenore, take him on. Go ahead.
Printing money is simply a default of a different nature. It is just a default. You're returning the original amount invested, but you're returning it in a much lower value.
And for any business, if you're borrowing 40% of what you're spending, you're going belly up.
Amelia, if we
But
could
the
all...
difference
Hang
is
on,
that
Carl, hang on one
default is
second.
a
If we could all become rich by operating a printing press or even letting the Federal Reserve operate a printing press, well, why don't we do that? Of course it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Of course it doesn't work.
I'll get it to you later. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You can't run a business that way.
I'm sure that's
it's fundamental business, fundamental leadership that's not happening. It's 101.
All right, last question to Lenore. Is there a danger that if the European Central Bank prints enough euros and deflates the value of euros and causes massive inflation in Europe, that could, to use the president's phrase tonight, spill over here? We got about 30 seconds. Lenore.
Well, we've already got our problem going here. I mean, they're just pushing back on us. We've been exporting our inflation for years. Now we're just getting a taste of our own medicine. And the country that's most going to be worried is China. They've got their primary market is Europe, secondary the United States.
Got it. Lenore Hawkins, Carl Jeffers, Amelia Antonetti. We got to go. Carl, thanks for joining us. Back with why the government's only answer to our debt downgrade is sadly to accuse the accuser. Next.
All this week, don't miss special live business coverage. Starting at 5, Ashley Webster has global market updates. At 7, Connell and Dagan are live from Wall Street. And at 9:20, Varney rings in the opening bell on Fox Business.
In today's market, where everything is electronic or paper, we wanted something tangible. As a father of 5, I need confidence to know that my investment portfolio is going to be around for my family.
And Goldline's been a big help.
I've learned that diversification means also investing in physical gold. You know, that's something they didn't teach me in business school. There, it was all about the stock market. When parts of our portfolio go up and down, our precious metals tend to move in the opposite direction. That's the kind of diversification that we want for our investments.
Goldline will be the first to tell you, it's not about putting your entire portfolio into gold.
They recommend gold and silver in your portfolio, and you can start at any level.
It's something we're really happy that we did to broaden our horizons.
Like Keegan and Maxie, you can own precious metals with a minimal investment. Call Goldline for your free investor kit and learn why you should consider gold as part of your future and your family's future. Isn't it time you consider gold and silver? Give us a call today.
No matter what small business you're in, managing expenses seems to get in the way. Not anymore. Inc. introduces Jot, a real-time expense app that lets you track and categorize expenses on the go, so you can get back to the business you love. Jot, the latest innovation from Chase, only for Inc. customers. Download at chase.com/Inc.
Turn left. You have arrived.
Sweet belt. E-reader for textbooks, GPS, HD video cam for lectures, gamepad.
Have you ever considered this by Motorola? It's got all that and more than 200,000 apps.
Technology to learn and play on the go, only at Verizon. Get the latest smartphones like the more powerful than ever Droid X2 by Motorola. Buy one for $199.99, get another one free.
No, no, and no! The ice sculpture goes over there. Frank, get in here!
Make the right first impression. Go to Vistaprint.com.